Mr. Mayor, you lied to the public at the last meeting. You have never reached out to me. Prior to attending these meetings, I emailed you with supporting documentation, but you ignored me. You did not reach out to me after the first meeting I attended, nor the second. Prior to attending a third meeting, I reached out to you again with supporting documentation, which did elicit a response. In your response, you did not address the issues. You avoided them, then proceeded to discredit me. In your response, you stated, I agree that scoring criteria and scores should be disclosed. The city attorney is attached to this email and did not correct you. You thought there was a scoring system, as did the city attorney, because the former finance director publicly stated there is a scoring system. I responded to your email, but because your bullying failed, you chose not to discuss further. My last email to you has gone unanswered. You also withheld essential information to manipulate the public's opinion. You are correct, CrossFit Valley View is a sole proprietorship. You are correct, that sole proprietorship is not in my name. However, you chose not to mention that it is in my wife's name, and you know this because I told you over 8 months ago. By default, only the sole owner of a sole proprietorship can act for the business, but that is commonly not the case because you can assign power of attorney to somebody to officially act on your behalf. Ask the city attorney. If the owner of CrossFit Valley View, my wife, has assigned me power of attorney, can the city discuss the business of CrossFit Valley View with me? The city of Los Banos is the only organization CrossFit Valley View engages with that does not recognize that power of attorney. City staff had no issue discussing the application for CrossFit Valley View with me until I sent them documentation proving they were lying to me. Nor was this standard applied to other businesses, and I have emails obtained through a public records request to prove that. Mr. Mayor, you also lied when referencing the document filed with the SEC. On that document, my time at CrossFit Valley View is listed as 2014 to present. You want to manipulate the public to believe I'm not credible, so you withheld why I have to file that document. You intentionally did not mention that on the same page, I'm identified as a chartered financial analyst. Most would say this is not just relevant, but essential information in determining someone's credibility relating to finance. So let's reframe the situation. A chartered financial analyst has come to you with serious concerns about the city's finances, provided you with supporting documentation for all of it, and you've chosen to ignore it for 9 months and instead attack the messenger rather than solving the problem. But I do appreciate you demonstrating you have both the time and the ability to do a thorough investigation of business structure and licensing. Now the public can see your integrity based on how you respond to the following information. I'll make this easy and only point out the city's own guidelines. I'll make it even easier by looking at the very first one, which reads, commercial business located and licensed in Los Banos since at least 2020. To keep it easy, let's look at the first check. This check was written February 24th, 2023. The business license associated with that application, which was obtained through a public records request, so it should be accurate, was not issued until March 10th, 2023. Based on your records, when the first check was written, there was no business license for that business, a violation of your own rules, the very first rule. And that's not the only one. There's multiple checks that went out to businesses without a commercial business license and businesses that only got a business license to apply for this grant program. But what they do have is connections within City Hall. There is substantial evidence showing quid pro quo and nothing to refute it. Until you provide justification for the amounts of these grants, Los Banos will be known as a pay-to-play city with corrupt leadership.